So everyone's been asking me to check out this interview between Dana White and Kevin Iole. Apparently, it's the most delusional interview Dana White has done in recent history. And that's saying something because it feels like every single interview he does nowadays are exceptionally delusional. In this interview, he was ridiculous in his glazing of Jon Jones. Yet again, he said some of the most ridiculous, I'm saying ridiculous again here. He said some of the most ridiculous things about Tom Aspinall in this interview as well. And I'm also going to go through some other things. In fact, I'm just going to give you guys, before I even get into this interview and break it down, I want to give you guys a blast from the past, which is why I'm annoyed at Dana White right now. First of all, I'm going to be using some segments, about minute-long segments, maybe a minute and a half region segments from Kevin Iole's interview. Shout out to him. He actually asked Dana White some really difficult questions. Not extremely difficult, but questions that other media members would probably not even want to ask Dana because they might fear the response that he would give them. So we got some good moments out of this. But before I even get into it, I want to show you guys what we're dealing with here. Okay? I just want to show you this little clip here. And this is from a while ago. This is when Jon Jones fought Vitor Belfort, okay? Now it's paused on
the weigh-ins. I looked at his abs, and I'm like, dude, I'm like several years younger than you, and you look way tighter than me.
Now, Jones is an expert at looking at another man and knowing that they're tighter than he is. He's an expert on it, okay? He can look at a guy up and down, look at his abs and go, God, this guy's tighter than me. I know he is. So basically what Jones is doing is he's accusing Vitor Belfort of being on performance-enhancing drugs, which he was, and throughout this, Joe Rogan confirms that he was, and they show all of these different clips of Jon Jones saying that they knew he was on steroids, and they still let him fight him. And then, most people probably don't remember this about Dana White, but I'm going to show you something right now. There was an interview, and I wish... Oh, Landsberg, this guy's name was. The only reason I know of it is because Chael used to say his name. Landsberg, all this. This was an old interview. Jon Jones talking about the fact that they knew Vitor was on performance-enhancing drugs, and they were dangerous to his life. First of all, hypocrisy off the charts. And they still let him fight Jon Jones, and Jon Jones still beat him. He was trying to big himself up for his win, saying, I beat a guy that was on PEDs. Now, when Landsberg hears this, he asks Dana about it, because Jones suggested, and I can't play this because there's audio in the background and I'll get copyrighted. Jones suggested that the UFC knew Vitor was on it, which they did because they allowed testosterone to be used. They did know that. But listen to Dana White's response. This is the very telling thing.
Which is a hazard to my life.
But they let him fight anyways. How do you respond to that?
Jones said that?
Yeah, he did.
My Pookie Bear Jones said that? Already crushed, okay? But what's Dana White's response to Jones saying something about someone else being on performance-enhancing drugs? This is the guy who has been doing a glaze tour of Jones for the past however many months it's been. Glazing him non-stop. This is the same guy. What do you think about Jones accusing someone of being on PEDs, Dana White?
Jones tested positive.
Remember, Jones tested positive for the DC rematch. Testosterone levels of a castrated male. The UFC knew it. He was on PEDs. What does Dana have to say to this interview?
Listen, Jon Jones is somebody who shouldn't be talking other people's tests.
Wow! Is that so, Dana? Is that really so?
Listen, Jon Jones is somebody who shouldn't be talking other people's tests.
Wow! He's a roid user, is he, Dana White? Because you've just been glazing him for the past however many months it's been. You know what I might do some other time? I'm going to find that clip of Dana White saying that he thought Reyes beat Jones. Next time Dana White goes on about how undefeated he is. You know? I'm waiting for them to overturn that 12-6 elbow so I can drop that Dana said that he thought Reyes beat Jones. He's glazing. Jones isn't the type of guy that should be talking about other people's tests. Why is that, Dana? Because he's a cheat, and you know it. And this is the guy you're glazing. This is the guy you're shilling for. Doing public humiliation rituals for. You know the truth. Old Dana knew the truth. based Dana knew the truth. This new Dana, who knows about this new Dana? Got me thinking that Kevin Iole is the winner of this argument. Okay? Let's let it play. Shout out to Kevin Iole. I don't agree with him politically on things, and I did go at him for some of the questions that he asked Dana. But even if you disagree with someone, difficult questions are needed in society. Okay? A different stance is needed. That's how you achieve greatness, through criticism. Okay? And he asked some good questions in this interview, so I'll let it play. He brings up Tom Aspinall, Jon Jones. Let's let it run and see what I've got to say.
Tom Aspinall did. And so that's where I want to start with you. You know, I wrote a column after the fight. I know you're adamant that Jon Jones is going to fight Stipe Miocic. And I agree with the argument that people say Stipe is the greatest heavyweight of all time. But he hasn't fought in 3 years. He's coming off a loss, and he hasn't won in 4 years. So how does that qualify him for a shot at the heavyweight title?
Well, this title fight was supposed to happen a long.
First of all, greatly worded by Kevin Iole. I didn't mean to yapper all over that. Hopefully you were listening. He's talking about how Stipe's been out for so long, all of the statistics for how long Stipe's been out. He could have even chucked in Pereira wasn't even in the sport yet. That's always a great one. And Dana White's going to give his response. How do you justify Stipe Miocic getting a title shot against Jon Jones?
For a shot at the heavyweight title.
Well, this title fight was supposed to happen a long time ago.
Not that long ago. He's acting like it was. This was set 2 years ago. We have to do it. No, this was made for what? The start of this year, late last year. Now we're here. Cool. I think it was actually mid to late last year. So it has been a while. How long has he been out? Wow, they've let him keep that belt for a long time, huh? That was middle of last year. Middle to late last year. Wow, they let him keep that for a while.
You know, all the things that happened from injuries to whatever else they got in the way. I just think, I feel, you know, you got two sides of the coin. You got everybody talking about, oh, Dana doesn't respect this guy and he doesn't do this and he doesn't do that. I'm showing both of these guys the respect. They want to fight each other. It's a fight.
Now that really annoys me. Okay? The fact that that's why Dana's making this. Because you've always got those two sides that are like, why is Dana doing this? He doesn't show the guy any respect. He's a legend of the sport and all of this. So he's basically saying that one of the reasons why he's making this fight is because of the people that are demanding Stipe should deserve the title. Delusion. Not listening to the world. The entire world, but Stipe, do not want Jones Miocic. We want Jones Pereira. We don't want that. We want Jones Aspinall, or Jones Pereira will do, if you want to devoid all logic. Nobody wants to see Jones Miocic. I do. But nobody wants to see it over those other fights. In any way whatsoever. And that's one of the reasons why Dana's making the fight. He doesn't want to hear the backlash of people saying that Stipe should have got it. Don't worry, Dana. No one would fucking say that. Make Jones Aspinall now. I don't want to, you know, everyone's going to go at me if Stipe doesn't get the title shot. He's living in a fairy. This guy's in Peaches of Creepville. Yeah, crafty vet, you know, big midi hooks. This guy is delusional. Beyond belief, he's delusional. He's in Peaches of Creepville.
It's a fight that they both want to happen. Total respect fight. I think they both deserve it.
That's how we market it. Total respect fight. No legacy, no best in the world on the line, no dangerous, no excitement, no, you know, total exciting fight. Total blockbuster fight. Total superstar showdown of a fight. Total super fight this is. Total legacy fight this is. Total pound for pound decider this fight is. No. Total respect fight here is what we got being made. Insane.
And, you know, at the end of the day, I get it. Everybody wants to see Tom Aspinall, but let me tell you what.
So then no one's going to be on you about Stipe not getting the shot. Contradicted himself. Boom. Within 30 seconds. This is one of those ones where you kind of got to make it because of the two sides and, you know, people like, why didn't you show respect and all of this. But I know everyone wants to see Tom Aspinall fight for the belt. So you know, and you're refusing the logic to make Jones Miocic.
After Stipe and Jon fight, whoever wins, the Aspinall fight's even bigger.
He's going to disprove this claim himself within this very video. Whoever fights the winner of Jones versus, whoever is the winner of Jones Miocic will fight Tom Aspinall. He's been saying that recently. He will walk it back. Give me a few minutes. He will walk that back later on in this interview.
But then the next question, which is going to be, of course, Jon has hinted quite a bit at retirement. And Stipe flat out said, I don't want to fight anybody else but Jon Jones, right? And
Stipe's 100% going to retire after this.
So then the winner's not fighting Tom! That spit went right at you. Did that hit the camera? No, that went straight at the camera there. Real glob of it. So then Stipe's not, then the winner's not fighting Tom then. He just said the winner of that fight's fighting Tom Aspinall. And maybe you could say, this is Dana being so confident in Jones. He didn't want to say Jon Jones, so he just said the winner of the fight. Maybe there's some grand way that's extra glaze that I've not even noticed. Dana's giving out, you got to read between the lines to find the glaze these days from Dana on Jon Jones. You know what I mean? Maybe. He's dropping riddles. You know? The Riddler, Dana White, that all of the riddles are just glazing Jon Jones. He's the pound for pound best ever. You know what I mean? That'd be a really weird Batman game. Either way, he just contradicted himself. The winner of that fight will fight Tom Aspinall.
Fight anybody else but Jon Jones, right? And
100% going to retire after this fight.
Stipe's 100% going to retire after this fight. So you cannot promise the winner against Tom Aspinall. It's all good though. By the way, Jon Jones is also going to retire after this fight. Jon Jones, today, 1 week ago, fun fact, Jon wasn't playing. He thought that was his wife. It was a clip about someone, I think he was in a barber's chair and he got aggressive with someone. And it was a prank video. This guy says, fun fact, Jon wasn't playing. He thought that was his wife. And Jon Jones responds, let me get out of the way of this. Jesus, I almost ruined that. Jon Jones responds saying, fun fact, after this year, Jon Jones will never have to work again. Retired at age 37. Winning. He's fighting in November. After this year, he's never fighting again. He's 37 now. Retired at age 37. Winning. So Jones ain't fighting Tom, Dana. So what are we doing here with the lies? What is this big game? It can't just be, we've got to make sure that Jones Miocic sells. Because I don't know how much this is adding. Sure, it will help out, and Dana's he's promoting Jon Jones, undisputed champ, and this is his job to promote. What do you want him to do? I completely understand. However, what are we doing here? Seriously, though, what the fuck is going on right now in the UFC? Why are you putting all your eggs in this basket knowing that the winners are going to walk away from the sport? That's the time you don't put the eggs in the basket. That's the time you don't invest all of this into it. I know both these guys are dipping. Fuck them. Do that. Sell what it wants. I don't care. We're moving on to the next generation. The current generation. Nearly said next. Far as I'm concerned, Jones Miocic is going to be a blast from the past compared to what we've seen recently at light heavyweight and heavyweight. All good, though.
And then, listen, Jon Jones, I've said this, you know how I talk about Jon Jones and what I think of Jon Jones as a fighter. Jon Jones always loves to challenge himself. Moved up to heavyweight.
After 3 years, plus the amount of years before that when he never did. Loves to challenge himself, guys. Had to wait 3 years for Ngannou to leave to fight Cyril Gane on 5 weeks' notice. I know I picked Gane because I thought Jones was that mid because of the Reyes performance, the Santos performance. Little did I know Gane had already been paid the bag. I'm only joking. I'm making conspiracies. Why else would they want... of course they wanted Gane to win against Jones when Ngannou left after beating Gane and had a really good fight with Fury. Of course they didn't really need Jones to win for the credibility of their entire division and GOAT himself, Jon Jones. All good. But I just don't understand this. I really don't.
Loves to challenge himself. Jones will do
Loves to challenge himself, and he starts glazing. Maybe what he's trying to do is butter Jones up. He knows Jones is retiring, and maybe that's what this game is.
after this fight, but I would be shocked if he didn't want to test himself against Aspinall.
Right.
Be shocked if he wouldn't want to test himself against Aspinall. Look in his mind as he thinks of Jones, and you know, Jones in a meadow somewhere, just him and Jones at a picnic. You can almost see the glint in his eyes yet again from Dana White here. I'd be shocked if Jones didn't want to continue after Stipe. Fun fact, after this year, Jon Jones will have never had to work again, retired at age 37, winning. Dana. What are these trendings? Lost Polo stream with Rizzler. Carty's arrest for speeding incident. Piers, Jesus. Jalen Brunson has been honored by NYK. Like, what is the world we're in right now? Anyway, all good. But still, the Dana White interview is fucking retarded. We move on.
You know,
Now listen, everything that I've been saying, right? These are fucking facts. These are facts. It's not like me.
Careful, he's talking about Jones again. Everyone watch out. Dana's getting angry again. Watch out, guys. Get ready to duck and weave. He's getting hand gestury again. The energy's back in him. Dana White could be on his fucking deathbed. If you asked for his last words, Jon Jones is the best ever. He popped right back up out of the thing.
Me and Jon Jones have this unbelievable relationship.
When he says that people think me and Jon Jones have this unbelievable relationship, he feels around his neck for some reason.
These are facts. It's not like me and Jon Jones have this unbelievable relationship.
I don't think he needed to adjust his neck there. Wonder what that was. I don't know. Maybe touching the lower part of his throat reminds him of Jon Jones. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe happy times. You know, Jon Jones and our relationship. Yeah, I mean, who knows? I'm surprised we didn't see Dana lift up one side there and one of his hands go missing. You know, me and Jon Jones, we got a great relationship. You know what I mean? It's just weird at this point.
I have with Ronda and Chuck Liddell and Connor and some of these people that have fought in the past, right?
And you don't glaze them nearly as much. And you never did. I know he's glazed people before, but this is different. This is different level glazing. And they had good relationships with you. You and Jon Jones don't even have a good relationship. Way to throw us off the scent, Dana. They're not even close to you guys. They don't like each other at all. 6 minutes 20. Let's keep it going here. There's more. I think this is the Tom Aspinall bit. Maybe, maybe not.
You know,
no, it's not. This is another bit.
I have a rule when I say if you haven't
This is about the pound for pound.
fought in a year unless you have a fight scheduled, I don't include you in pound for pound because it's for active guys. The minute Jon fights, he goes back into the list, right? But given that he's not fighting, is that fair where other guys are going out there and competing?
Look how angry Dave. You've disrespected his Pookie Bear here. Here he comes.
Jon Jones is ranked number
He always starts it with Jon Jones. Not he or anything. Jon Jones.
3 pound for pound in the world. Jon Jones is ranked number 3 pound for pound in the world.
Fighting in the
That's
UFC.
the most fucking ridiculous, embarrassing, stupid, know nothing about fucking fighting ranking of all fucking time. Jon Jones is still an active fighter. He beat Cyril Gane. He got injured. He was supposed to fight. He's going to fight again in November. Jon Jones is the number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world. Period. End of.
Against all fucking logic, apparently. No, he's not. It's not a GOAT list. And you can even see on Kevin Iole's face during this, he's like, I disagree massively. Because Kevin Iole, I mean, I know his political views on everything. I know I've had some things to say about him before. But when it comes to MMA, logic dictates that Jones is not pound for pound number 1. Because guess what the pound for pound list is? If Mayweather came back and beat some guy who was a contender in a division, is he pound for pound number 1 in boxing? No, he's not. But is he the GOAT? Of course, you can't deny that. Or you can, arguments, he's tiny, I could beat him up. Boxing's different in MMA. These are real fighters. Either way, the pound for pound rankings are how you stack up against the current roster of the sport. And we've been through this before. How does Jon Jones stack up against the current roster of the sport? He beat Cyril Gahn. Good win. Whatever you want to say about rigged, thrown fight, whatever, all good. He beat Cyril Gahn. Other than that, Anthony Smith, decision. Thiago Santos, not in the UFC, so fuck that name. Reyes, lost. He lost the fight to Reyes. That's how Jones stacks up to the current light heavyweight division and the UFC in general. OSP to a decision. He don't have relevant wins. He don't have a single relevant win at light heavyweight. If Glover was there, I'd be saying a different story. But he don't have a single relevant win at light heavyweight. And he has one relevant win at heavyweight. That's all he has against the current roster of the UFC. Other than Anthony Smith and Reyes, which I don't think are that pound for pound number one worthy right now. Compared to Volkanovskis and Holloways and Tapurias and these elite of the elite guys. You know, even you go to the Usmans, the Pereiras, the Adesanyas, these guys are competing right now at the top. Not Usmans and Adesanyas, but the guys that beat them got their top spots. You know, these guys were names. They were big names. Jones never passed that on. Now, because he never lost, or the judges never gave Reyes that win. Otherwise, we would be talking about a different situation right now. But still, I don't know how Dana doesn't understand this. It's not a GOAT ranking. It's how you rank against the current roster of the sport. And Jones has not had a relevant win in so long. We have no idea how he stacks up at light heavyweight against any of them. And we have no idea how he stacks up at heavyweight, other than against Gahn. One performance. We still haven't seen him in an extra few years. Now he's fighting Stipe. We will still have no understanding how he stacks up against the rest of the heavyweights, regardless what happens to the Stipe fight.
Story. Whoever, you know, whether you want to call, you know, Islam, Pereira, number 2, number 3, all good. To have anybody above Jon Jones right now just goes to show that you know absolutely fucking nothing about combat sports and fighting.
No, it doesn't. You don't know. This is, and look at Kevin Iole's face here as well. Ugh. Because he knows, and he actually pushes back on this as well, and says some things about pound for pound and what he disagrees with because of the inactivity and stuff like that. But you don't know what you're saying, Dana, and I know you don't know what you know what you're saying. You're intentionally saying it. So right there, tear down Makhachev, tear down Pereira. They're not the top pound for pound guys. Jones is. I'll tell you this right fucking now. If Jones retires today, but then it changes it, I know. But he will regret this. I know Dana will regret this because he will start glazing these guys when Jones is gone. Glaze them now. They're your current champs. Jones is a blast from the past. He ain't in the sport right now. He ain't in the trenches with these real champs and contenders. He's been out for 4 years. Fought Gahn once. 5.5 weeks notice. Whatever. Through the fight. Get it. All good. Now Stipe. Pound for pound is how you stack up against the current sport. I have no idea how Dana still doesn't get that.
Number one. Number 2, the other thing about Jon Jones, when you talk about inactivity, any fighter in the history of fighting, including the god, who you consider a god and I consider a god, Muhammad Ali, was never the same again after his 3-year layoff, right? And Muhammad Ali wasn't doing bad things to himself,
right?
Like Jon Jones was.
Yeah.
And Jon Jones comes back and looks even better. It's undebatable. It's undebatable. Anybody who even tries to debate this with me, you're just hating on Jon Jones and you don't like him as a person. And I get it, but it's not.
And I get it, by the way. You're just hating. Anyone who tries to debate him on that, I don't understand the Muhammad Ali thing compared to the Jon Jones thing. I don't know why he makes that comparison. And also, it's very telling that Jones was out for what? I think Ali, wasn't he out for like some kind of military stance on some shit? I don't even remember the Muhammad Ali situation. I wish I had like read up on it because I'm sure it's a bullshit thing because I remember disproving this on a stream. I just can't remember the take I had on it. But it's a retarded thing to compare. It really is a retarded thing to compare. You know, Muhammad Ali was kept from the sport. I want to point this out. He talks about, that's what it is! My brain! It was right there, dude. I'm back. 3 years out, That's not the fucking 3 years was because of injury. That's now why he's out, because of injury. Who comes back from 3 years? Ali had reasons to be out. Jones had no fucking reason at all. He just dipped. Jan Blachowicz called him out in the crowd and he dipped for 3 years until Ngannou left and then he came back. That's what he did. Do not ever compare him to Muhammad Ali, who I believe took a stance for military reasons. If that is true, don't you fucking ever compare the two of them. He had real reasons to be out of the sport. I think this is what Dana's talking about. He had real reasons to be out of the sport. Jones had none. 3 years, nothing. No injury, no nothing. Sat out waiting for Ngannou to leave. It's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic from Dana White to even make that comparison. The 3 years off wasn't when Jones, he's back around. He had nothing wrong with him in the 3 years off. Other than his own idiocy. Nothing. No injury, no nothing. Don't act like he just came back after a back injury and 2 knee surgeries and he really wanted to fight, guys. Promise. He sat out for 3 years doing fuck all. Now he's out from an injury. He was not coming back after an injury into the Cyril Gane fight. But this is the narrative Dana White's painting. And he's painting this narrative to trump Muhammad Ali. Using this. A lie. Like Jones came back after 3 years injured and all the injuries and he wasn't injured at all. And you're using a lie to overshine John over Muhammad Ali. Who again, I'm not sure of the reason for his 3-year layoff. I think was because he religiously stood against war in Vietnam. Not the same. Do not make that comparison, you bald gay boy.
Not about whether you like him or don't like him or whatever. It's about based on facts and what he's done in his career.
And as we know, based on facts, you just fucking lied twice and I disproved it. 9 minutes 20. We go to another bit. This is the last thing he said about Tom Aspinall. And I think this is where I'll end the video. This is my final topic to break down. What a disgusting thing he said here. Have a little breakdown. Iole brings up Tom Aspinall. Great job. He brought him up twice to Dana in this interview just to really hit home that he wants him to talk about him as a contender. Let's let it play.
What do you see in Aspinall? And do you look at Aspinall as a guy that could, let's assume Jon Jones retires after Stipe, could Aspinall kind of, carry that baton and run forward with it?
And you're absolutely right, Kevin. And there's not enough being not enough credit being given.
So give it. Okay? Just like you say to Jon Jones every night. Give it. Give. Okay? Not enough credit being given to Tom Aspinall. I wonder why. Because you fucking glaze Jones. Every time Aspinall gets a win. Every time Pereira gets a win. Every time Makhachev gets a win. You make it about Jon Jones. So much so that I've got casual MMA pages showing up with 250,000 likes. Memes of you glazing this man. And he doesn't get enough credit. Let's let it play. Thoughts on Tom Aspinall?
For this, what he did to Curtis Blades, the way that he did it and how fast he did it.
Right.
There's no doubt. I mean, this guy is a scary dude and he looks like the future.
He's the now. The future. He is your current champion. This guy is the future of heavyweight. He is the now. Fair enough not saying he's the now after the Pavlovich, even though you should, because he's got a fucking interim belt around his waist and he just took out the number one guy. He's the now. What's all this? This guy's the future of the division. He has defended his belt, interim or not, more than Jones has. Dude's got more heavyweight title defenses than Jon Jones. Fact. He's the future
of the heavyweight division, right? But at the same time, he's working his way up.
He's the champ of your heavyweight division. You bald guy who Jones has something on, I guess. He's working his way up. There's no one left for him but Cyril Gane, who has ducked him for the past 2 years. There's no one left for him to prove himself against. He's done all of it. He's the man. This guy's the future. He's working his way up. So what? He'll get there one day. He's got a belt around his waist and he's defended it. You know, he's a tough kid, you know, he's just making his way through the ranks. No.
He's climbing up the ladder, and everybody's like, he deserves.
He's climbing up the ladder. He's a champion.
Like, he deserves this, and he deserves that, and he doesn't deserve anything. He looks.
What? He doesn't deserve anything. What are you talking about, Dana? It's too far. You're getting to the point now, Dana, yeah? Where I used to think, I wonder what the UFC would do without Dana. I can't wait till your fucking bald ass is gone. I really can't wait until it's gone. I can't wait these days. The way you are diminishing current champions and de-promoting them so you can glaze a man who's going to have one fight against an old fuck that nobody gives a fuck about and then leave is disgraceful promotion. I used to think, well, regardless what you say about Dana White, at least he's a good promoter. Nah, you ain't even a good promoter. You just sold that all out the window. No matter what you've done all across the years, I don't give a fuck. This is what a non-promoter does. This is what an absolute special needs guy who has no idea how to promote fights has been given a platform to promote a fight. This is the shit he's saying. You have no idea what you're doing. Aspinall's your guy. Pereira's your guy. These guys are the faces of heavyweight and light heavyweight and will be probably for the next 5 years. Aspinall's case, Pereira's maybe only a few. He's a lot older. Utilize that and promote them. Stop clinging on to the past. That's what Jones is.
Looks great, and he looks like he's going to be the guy. You got Stipe and...
He looks like he's going to be the guy. He's a world champion. If I was Aspinall, I'd be raging right now. No wonder he quit social media.
John, who have paid their dues. They've been here forever. Be the guy. You got Stipe and John, who have paid their dues. They've been here forever. They fought everybody. They fought all...
Over the past 4 years? Have they fought everybody? I don't think they fought everybody. In fact, I can look through all the rankings right now and maybe find no one that Stipe's beaten. No, really think. Overeem, JDS, and Ngannou, no. It's not a win in the US. So I can look through the whole heavyweight rankings with no Arlovsky. I can look through the whole heavyweight rankings without finding a guy Stipe's beaten. Who has Stipe beaten at heavyweight? JDS, Overeem. I think he fought JDS on the come up and then as a defense. Fabricio Verdum, Ngannou, DC. So he hasn't fought everybody. He's fought not a single heavyweight in the top 15. Aspinall's taken out Tybura, Spivak, Blades, Pavlovich, Volkov in probably overall 7 minutes. And that's not an exaggeration. And if it weren't for the Volkov fight being included in the Tybura, Spivak, Blades, Pavlovich, that'd be 4 minutes of fight time. But Jones has fought everybody as well. Smith, Reyes, lost to him. Other than that, who else? Gane? It's not everybody. It's not everybody at all. That's what the pound for pound rankings is about, Dana.
All the fights that you could possibly fight. These guys deserve to fight each other. Whoever wins that fight, I think that they owe it to Aspinall to fight him and give him the opportunity that they've been given. You know, when you look at Jon Jones and Stipe, they beat all the guys, right? And you're either going to be the guy that's going to cement your legacy forever, or you're going to hand the torch off the way the torch was handed off to you guys by all the guys that came before you.
So there's some good bit of clarity at the very end of all of this bullshit that he's been saying. Finally, something like that. He just has to preface it with the most delusional shit, almost to not annoy Jon Jones. It's lame. It's so lame to see him do this. Used to have a lot of respect for him as a man, but recently I've got none of it. He's a disgrace, man. He's a little shill. Humiliation ritual doing freak. It's weird to see. It really is weird to see. See you later. Goodbye. Toodle pip. Crazy. Tom Aspinall has not earned it yet. He's on the come up. He's still working his way up. Defending champion of the division. One more time, please. Just at the end here. Sorry. I'm just going to do this one more time.
Listen, Jon Jones is somebody who shouldn't be talking other people's tests.
All right. See you guys. Goodbye. That's the guy you're shilling? That's the guy you're defending? The guy who shouldn't be talking about anyone being on PEDs or their tests? Cool, dude.